Hello and welcome back to Master Topic. I am your teacher Karl, here to guide you through your first forage through topic 1. And today we are on the listening part, right? So we are on our third lesson, type 3, and the past 2 lessons we've been dealing with quite a few questions each, right? Like 8 or 9 questions for each one. But don't worry, we're slowing things down a little bit for this one. We're only doing questions numbers 15 and 16, okay? So let's take a first look here. First thing you're going to notice, pictures, right? We don't have any words for this one, right? So it's all going to be listening to a situation and choosing a picture, right? Right, so we have 2 questions here, and the difficulty is 2 stars, right? And the reason it's 2 stars is you are going to have to pay attention to the details in the pictures, right? There are going to be a little bit of things that they put into the question to try to throw you for a loop, to try to trick you. But if you pay close attention, it shouldn't be too difficult for you, right? So what you're going to do is choose the picture that matches the conversation. So you're going to hear a conversation, and it's going to be the 2 people who are in the picture, right? So you just choose which picture has these 2 people in it. And so again, remember, in the beginning of the listening portion, it's all about the vocab. So here especially relationships and situation vocab, okay? So let's break it down. We're understanding the type. 다음을 듣고, listen to the following. 가장 알맞은 그림을 고르십시오. Right? Just choose the most appropriate picture. Okay? And really, it's all going to be in the pictures. It really is all in the pictures. Okay? What are you going to check? First, where are they? Right? So are they in the park? Are they outside? Are they inside? Really just do that, and that will really kind of narrow down your options. What is their relationship? Okay? And we don't necessarily mean like husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend. It could be store owner and a customer, right? It could be a doctor and a patient. It could be a teacher and a student. It could be a coach and an athlete. So just all these different types of relationships, right? And then look at what the people are doing and the direction they're facing, right? So are they walking together and are they both facing the same direction? Are they sitting down and having a conversation face to face? Are they in a bus? Are they in the car? Are they on the phone with each other maybe? You might have something like that, right? So just really kind of the details like that are sometimes the points that make or break the question for these, all right? And so again, for this one too, the best way to learn it is to just try it on your own, and then I'll see you after the break.
다음을 듣고 가장 알맞은 그림을 고르십시오. 15번 이렇게 공원에 와서 점심을 먹으니까 좋네요.
이제부터 자주 와야겠어요. 다시 들으십시오.
이렇게 공원에 와서 점심을 먹으니까 좋네요.
이제부터 자주 와야겠어요.
All right, so how was this one, right? Did you listen to it pretty well? Having pictures and having words for the answers might be a little bit different, right? Kind of a lot more to look for in the pictures, but I think this will be easier for some, maybe a little bit more difficult for others. All right, so let's break this down. First, remember, we're looking for where are they? So the guy here says, 이렇게 공원에 와서 점심을 먹으니까 좋네요. Where are they? They're in the park, right? So, right, as soon as you hear 공원 in the recording, you're going to look at the pictures. Where are they in a park? Right here and right here, right? So these are the 2 pictures. We know it's not going to be 2. It's not going to be 3. So what are they doing in the park? Are they eating or are they walking? Well, 점심을 먹으니까, right? 점심을 먹으니까 좋네요. Right? And so that narrows it down to number 1, right? So the place and the action. And then the woman says, 이제부터 자주 와야겠어요. Right? So let's just say, for example, it was number 4. Okay? What kind of question would we have, right? What kind of conversation? We could say, 이렇게 공원에 와서 산책을 하니까 좋네요. 뭐뭐 하니까 좋네요, right? So taking a walk like this in the park is very nice, right? Or what could we say here? 이렇게 집에서 점심을 먹으니까 좋네요, right? Or here, 이렇게 밖에서, right? Outside. 와서 밖에서 점심을 먹으니까 좋네요, right? So just some different possible questions you could have to get all of these answers, all right? All right, let's try the next one right away.
16번.
저기 횡단보도 앞에 세워주세요.
알겠습니다. 손님.
다시 들으십시오. 저기 횡단보도 앞에 세워주세요.
알겠습니다. 손님.
All right, how is this one, right? This one is a little bit trickier than the last one, right? The last one, you could just get it all in the first sentence. Here, you have to get it right to the end. You have to listen to the end. So first of all, we have a woman and a man again. The woman says, 저기 횡단보도 앞에 세워주세요. 횡단보도, a crosswalk, right? So here, well, you could look at the pictures and see that here's a crosswalk, but we have to listen to what she's saying. 횡단보도 앞에 세워주세요. Oh, she's telling somebody to do something. Stop the car. 세워주다. 차를 세우다. Stop a car. Right? And then the guy says, 알겠습니다. 손님. Excuse me. A customer, or in this case, a passenger, right? So we know that the relationship is going to be a driver and a passenger. So we have actually two pictures right there where that would work, right? So this, she's on a bus, and this one, she's on a taxi. But what does she say? 저기 세워주세요. 저기 세워주세요. There, right? So we know the direction and the action, so we know that she's pointing, 저기. So we know that it's going to be number 4. And just one quick thing I want to go over here. Usually when we are in a taxi, we would always say, 저기 세워주세요, right? You're not really going to say, 거기 세워주세요, right? Because 저기 is usually used for physical distance, right? Over there. And then 거기, it could be used maybe for a little bit closer, but it's also used a lot more often when we're talking, all right? Oh, you know, that restaurant that we went to that one time, that 거기, 그 어디지? You know, that's when you're going to use 거기 as opposed to 저기, right? So that's just one of those things for a lot of English speakers. Understanding the difference between 거기 and 저기 can kind of take a while, but just in case in your daily life, if you mix them up, everybody's pretty much going to understand what you're saying, so don't worry too much about it, okay? Alrighty. So now, since we have a little bit more time for this lesson, let's go over some of the vocabulary that we have by situation. All right, so first, 길 묻기. When we're asking for directions, like I just said, 여기, 저기, 거기, right? So if you're giving somebody directions and you say, so go straight, and then when you're at the McDonald's, take a right. You could say, 뭐 맥도날드에 도착하면 거기서 오른쪽으로 꺾어주세요. Something like that. That's when you would say 거기. Or if you're just saying, like somebody on the street is like, oh, where can I get to my school? And then you can say, 저기 가서, right? You kind of point and say, 저기, right? So that's one way to think of 저기 versus 거기, right? 저기 가서 오른쪽으로 꺾어주세요. 이렇게 하면 돼요. Okay? And then what else? 버스 정류장, the bus stop. 정류장. Another word for 정류장 would be 정류소, right? So and 장, right? If you think of the word 장소, they're both words that mean place. So really they're kind of interchangeable, but you are going to hear 정류장 a lot more than you hear 정류소, right? And then also we have 지하철역 몇 번 출구, right? So in Korea, all of the subway stations, 지하철역, their exits are numbered. When I went to Tokyo once, I was really kind of confused because they didn't have numbers on the station. So I was going to meet my friend at a station. It's like, oh yeah, 몇 번 출구? Like, what number exit are we going to meet at? And they're like, what are you talking about? There aren't numbers for the exits here. And I was shocked. I was shook. It was very shocking. So that's one really good thing about the Korean subway system. First of all, it's just really great in general, but also it's really easy to find if you're meeting up with your friends at a subway station, okay? So that's what you're going to be using here. Oh, just keep in mind, remember, bus is 정류장, 지하철 is 역, okay? All right, so let's go to the movies, right? 영화관, all right? So you can say a movie is 재밌다 or 재미없다, right? So a 재밌다, 재밌는 영화 would be a good movie, but if you say the 영화 is 재미없다, then that's a bad movie, right? So in English we don't say really a fun movie, we just say good or bad. Korean we say 재밌다, 재미없다, right? And then if you go to the movie theater, especially now that Corona is kind of over and people are starting to get out again, we can say 사람이 많다. 영화관에 사람이 진짜 많았다. 진짜 많아, right? Do you guys prefer watching a movie with a lot of people where there's 사람 많다, or do you prefer it when there's 사람 없다? I really like being in the movie theater with a lot of other people, just to there's kind of that feeling, you know, in the darkness of the movie theater, just knowing that you're surrounded by a lot of people watching the same movie, having the same experience. I really like it. So I prefer 사람이 많은 영화관, right? And then when you get to the theater, or these days you can do it beforehand as well, you can 예매하다, right? You can 예매하다, you can buy your tickets beforehand, and you can also get popcorn. Popcorn. I always get popcorn. I prefer my caramel popcorn in Korean movie theaters. It's very good. All right, we talked about 정류장s before. 정류장 for the stations, we have 버스 and 기차, but really more often we say 버스 for 정류장, and then 기차 would be more 역, right? And then for transportation, we say 타다 when we get on, and 내리다 when we get off. So 버스를 타다, 지하철을 타다, 지하철을 내리다, 버스를 내리다, things like that. And then if you're going to the bus station, you're going to have to 기다리다, right? 기다려요. 10분 기다렸어요. I waited 10 minutes for my bus. 1시간 기다렸어요. I waited an hour for my bus, right? 시간이 남다. 버스가 올 때까지 시간이 많이 남았어요. There's a lot of time left until the bus is going to arrive, right? And then 은행, one of the more difficult places to go in a foreign country. A lot of very difficult words there. So we have our 대기표, our waiting number, 기다리다, right? 대기표를 뽑아주시고 기다려주세요. So get your waiting ticket and wait for a little bit, please. All right, and then once your number gets called, you're going to go up to the 안내 창구, right? That's where the teller is going to be, at the 안내 창구. So the information desk, you could say, the window there. And then once you go up, you can say, 저 돈을 찾으러 왔어요. I came to withdraw some money. 돈을 찾으러 왔어요. All right, so today we only went over one type of question, so we had a little bit of time to look at specific vocabulary, right? So let's go over the final summary. We're choosing the appropriate picture, right? How are we going to solve? We're going to look at the place, the action of the people in the picture, their relationship, the direction they're facing, all of that. So everybody in the conversation, right? And so especially for this one, you're going to listen to the details in the conversation because they are going to try to trick you. So pay close attention to how the people are talking, what they're calling each other, all of that, and you should be fine, okay? And what are you going to want to study? Just like we did earlier, you're going to study vocabulary based on relationship or different situations. So words you're going to use when waiting for the bus, words you're going to use at a bank, words that a shop owner would use to a customer and what a customer would say to a shop owner. All of these different things are going to help you solve numbers, 13 and 14, 14 and 15, whatever it is. All right, thank you very much for listening to today's class, and I will see you in the next lesson. 감사합니다.
당신을 위한 한국어 마스터 토픽